Let's take a look at Quant. This is the daily chart, and the data I have is to 6:40 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on January the 20th. Quant is finally trading in positive territory today. As of right now, it is trading at 144 or up about 6.5%. Quant broke out consolidations around April of last year and went on this really massive bull run. That took the price from 40 all the way to 420 or more than 10 times. But after that, we saw this pullback, and since then, Quant pretty much in the sideways trading, or what I call is in consolidations. And that created a lot of frustration. And now, we start hearing about Quant is no good and all that stuff. But in reality is this, Quant is a great project. It ran up so much. After a major run up, expect a pullback and consolidations to allow the Bollinger Band to get contracted so it could support another major run-up in price. However, the good news is this. I do believe that the necessary pullback and consolidations after this major run-up in price is near completion. And very soon we will see Quant stabilize and then begin the next bull run again. Normally, after a major bull run, we expect a pullback. And the expectation is the pullback would likely take the price down to between the 50 to 78.6% based on this Fibonacci retracement. And we saw this flash crash where the price dipped. It dropped down to about the 78.6%. But immediately after that, strong buying support, Quant ended up closing at almost 190. After that, we saw the price bounce up, but the minute it tested the 50 days moving average, it get rejected and then continued to trend lower, but still maintain the price higher than the prior low. Because it dropped below the 78.6%, then we are looking at the potential for the price to retrace even more. So I don't think that is going to happen. I think at this low here, it's very much the bottom as part of this retracement, and likely that we are going to see Quant starting to stabilize and begin to trend higher. Here's one thing to keep in mind. As long as the 10 days moving average is lagging the 50 days, we still expect selling pressure. So there is still a chance that the price could retrace, assuming if Bitcoin continues to trade lower, then we could potentially still see the possibility that Quant could retest this low again. But I don't expect the price to break down below this level. The possibility for Quant to retrace and retest this low is very low. I expect to see Quant slowly stabilize, and then the 10-day would reverse direction. And the minute it crosses over and lead the 50-day, that would be the bullish signal that I'm looking for. Indicates to me that there's a very high probability that we would begin to see the next bull run. Looking at the stochastic oscillator, Quant is definitely in this oversold. So again, I do expect to see buyers step in, expect the price to stabilize, and then run up. And if we look at the potential for Quant, let's see what is the target price for the next bull run. Quant right now, if we look at how the chart is forming, it is setting up this very nice bull flag. This is the flagpole, and this downward channel is the flag. Break out from the resistance of this downward channel, and the target price is roughly about 180. Stabilize over that. Then technically, this would take Quant up to about 600. But given the fact that this entire formation is taking almost 8 months to form, momentum can easily push it higher. So my target for the next bull run would be at around. So I definitely think that Quant will perform really well this year. But in the near term, let's say within the next week or so, Quant is still facing a lot of hurdles. Looking at the 1-hour chart, we see this downward trend line. And Quant has been trailing this downward trend line. It has to be able to mount some sort of buying support and cross over this trend line and stabilize over that before we could expect to see the price moving up again. When the price retraces, volume is okay. But when it bounces up, we are starting to see this very long green bars indicating buyers are stepping in. So clearly, it is an indication that buyers are stepping in to prevent the price from breaking down. The same thing when it dropped, we're starting to see buying support, all this buying support now. And looking at this formation in the near term, Quant is forming this inverted head and shoulder, and the neckline right now is at around 150. If it can cross over 150, then we can look forward to Quant running up, and the target should take it up to about 165, the range of 650 to 700. Now go back to the daily chart. After this major spike up, as you can see, the Bollinger Band get way overextended. And as the price pull back and go through this sort of consolidation process, the band get contracted. The width of the band is extremely narrow, indicates a lot of momentum is being built up. So the minute this thing break out, watch out. I mean, we're going to see a major spike up in price. The stochastic oscillator is indicating that Quant is in this oversold territory. And we're starting to see a crossover where the blue signal line just cross over and lead the red line. So that is a very good sign and indications that there's a high probability that we could see the price starting to trend up. So Quant is a great project. I think right now at the price where it is, which is less than 160, I mean, it is a bargain. It's a great entry level, and I am going to start accumulating this until it hit a max of 160. The key signal for me again is when the 10 days cross over the 50 days. But anyhow, I do believe that Quant will definitely reverse this direction and perform very well in 2022. That's it for this video, and don't forget to click that like button and reward me with a like if you appreciate the content that I'm presenting. Also, if you are new to my channel, don't forget to click that subscribe button and subscribe, and make sure you turn notification on. And if you have Twitter, make sure you follow me at VidMaxim, because I provide constant update on all of our favorite cryptos.